In my past life, Jet Gured me through an arrangement by the organization. But after the wedding, he treated me with extreme indifference and never once entered my room in our entire marriage. I always thought it was because he was introverted and had a cleanliness obsession, which was why he refused to touch me. But it wasn't until his ex-girlfriend appeared that I realized he was simply saving himself for another woman. Now that I've returned to the 1980s, I've decided to let us both go and file for divorce myself. But he panicked. 1985 Northern City Military District Training Ground. Myra, look at your Colonel Gu. He's really so handsome. Jianga, standing beside me, nudged me and teased, pointing at Jet Gu, who was leading the troops in training on the field. I followed the direction of her finger and saw Jet Gu from 30 years ago, young and clad in military uniform. He stood out strikingly among a group of green recruits, possessing an allure that could make hearts race at first glance. I stared at him blankly, feeling an unexpected sting in my eyes. I never thought I'd truly come back again. It was back to the second year of my marriage with Jet Gu. My union with Jet Gu was actually an accident. He was the youngest regiment commander in Haicheng Military District at a young age. While I was just an ordinary country girl, it was only because I was lucky enough to work in the cultural troupe that through the organization's arrangement, we ended up together by chance. For Jet Gu, marriage might have just been a matter of settling. Yet, I gave my genuine love. I truly regarded him as my husband, with my heart and eyes always on him. But a lifetime of devotion never earned his tenderness. After marriage, he never touched me. I always thought it was because he had a cold personality. But it wasn't until that woman appeared that I realized it wasn't a matter of personality at all, just a lack of love. Myra, what are you spacing out for? Training's over. Your Captain Gu is calling for you. I suddenly looked up and saw Jet guiding toward me with his long legs. A faint smile graced his face. Myra, sorry to keep you waiting. You must be hungry. Let's go eat together. I looked into Jet Gu's pitch black eyes, feeling a tumult of mixed emotions, just like in my past life. He was always gentle and considerate toward me, as if he truly held some affection for me. But I knew it was all a lie until his dying breath in that previous life. The name he called out belonged to another woman. At this thought, my heart ached with bitterness, unsure how to face him. Just as I was about to refuse, I saw his guard running over. Regiment. Commander Gu, there's a woman named Lily Lin at the gate looking for you. She says it's very urgent. Hearing this name, Jet Gu's expression tensed up. Okay, I'll be right there with that. He didn't even glance at me before turning and rushing hurriedly toward the unit's entrance. Jianga watched Jet Gu's retreating figure with curiosity and asked, "Who is that Lily Lin?" Why did Regimental Commander Ju get so tense upon hearing her name? I lowered my head, suppressing the bitterness in my eyes. I'm not sure. But seeing how anxious he is, she must be someone very important to him. Yeah. So important that you can't let go even until death. If that's the case, then why did you marry me in the first place? Suppressing the suffocation in my heart, I stopped paying attention to Jet Gu. I had a meal at the cafeteria with Jingu and then returned to the family quarters. The door opened, revealing a pitch-black room inside. As expected, Jet Gu hadn't returned. Doing the math, Lily Lin should have just become a widow at this point. Coming to find Jet Gu to ask for his help in taking care of her and her child, now a widow and orphan it must be said. Jet Goose's feelings for Lily Lin were truly deep and meaningful. No matter how busy he was, as long as Lily Lin needed him, he would rush to her side immediately. And this home became an insignificant existence to him in my past life. Watching Jet Goose's blatant favoritism toward Lily Lin drove me mad. With jealousy, I couldn't help but cry and make a scene in front of him several times. What I got in return was his cold accusation. Lily is a childhood friend of mine. How can you be so narrow-minded as to be jealous of her? It's utterly unreasonable. Looking back now, I realize how pitiful I was for someone who didn't have me in their heart. I turned myself into a complete madwoman. Fortunately, I don't plan to make myself this pitiful again in this lifetime. I took off the silver ring from my hand and whispered softly, Jetgu, I've decided to let go, both of myself and you. From now on, you and Lily Lin can do whatever you want. Waking up in the morning, Jet Goose's room remained neat and tidy. He didn't come back last night, nor did he send a guard to inform me, just like in the past life. Whenever Lily Lin was around, he would forget about everything else, forgot that he still had a home, and forgot about me, too. Yet I would stay up all night, worrying about his absence, afraid that he might be off on some dangerous mission. Looking back now, it really wasn't worth it. I pressed down on the dull ache in my chest, telling myself this was the last time I'd feel heartbroken over him. From now on, I won't waste any more emotions or time on him. This lifetime, I'm going to live for myself. After freshening up, I headed straight to the military district's cultural troupe. I remember at this exact time the cultural troupe was selecting lead actors for a new play. If the performance was good, there would be tours to various military regions and perhaps even a recommendation to art college. In my past life, I was too concerned about taking care of Jetgu and didn't want to be too far away from him. So I gave up all opportunities to stand out. I spent my entire life as an obscure member of the cultural troupe, wasting my talents and the years of hard practice I had put in. I was even laughed at behind my back for a lifetime, with people saying, how could a country girl like me ever be worthy of Jet Guju anymore? Of course, these concerns are gone. I must seize every opportunity to live out my own splendid life. I absolutely cannot waste this chance of being reborn. When I arrived at the cultural troupe, I found the director and handed in my application form. Director, I'd like to sign up. The director looked up and was visibly surprised to see me, then immediately delighted. Ah, Xiao Chin, you finally come around to sign up. This time, comrade, with your talent. It's such a shame you've been so attached to home all these years. What a waste of all that hard training. All right, I'll take your application. Go back and prepare. Well, this is a rare opportunity. You must seize it properly. I clenched my fist tightly. Understood, Captain. I will never let the organization down. Yes, never again will I fail them. For the next 10 or so days, Jetgu didn't return home, and I didn't have the time to spare to worry about him. I spent day and night in the practice room turning myself into a dance fanatic. Jiangu advised me to take it easy and get some rest. But in response to her kindness, I just shook my head. I had a fire burning inside me. I needed this opportunity too much. Not only can it help me prove myself, but it can also help me leave here and escape this loveless marriage with Jetgu. The time to audition for the lead role arrived as scheduled. In the audition room, I gave my best performance. I performed farewell to the Red Army with grandeur and emotion, both lyrical and poignant. When it ended, I knew from the director's satisfied gaze that I had secured the role. When the results were announced, I was indeed ranked first. The next day, I eagerly rushed to the cultural troupe early in the morning, excited to rehearse the new play, only to find the rehearsal room completely empty. Everyone was looking at me with strange expressions. Jianga hurried over and said, "Myra, it's bad. They're saying the lead role in the new play is being recast and you've been replaced." All the blood in my body turned cold in an instant. A dense, searing pain welled up from the depths of my heart. "Who replaced me?" Jianga looked at me sympathetically. "I'm not entirely sure, but they're in the director's office right now. You should hurry over and see if there's still a chance to fight for it." I hurriedly rushed to the regimental commander's office. Upon opening the door, I saw a familiar and startling figure in military green, none other than my husband who had been missing for so long. Standing beside him was a woman, dressed in a blue checkered dress. The two of them stood very close, appearing incredibly intimate, like a perfect match made in heaven. Witnessing this scene, my heart clenched, my lips tasted bitter, and even breathing became difficult. No matter how many times I told myself not to care about Jet Gu anymore, seeing him standing with his ex-girlfriend still made my heart ache. Uncontrollably digging my fingertips into my palms, I told myself to stay composed. Then she walked to the center of the room and addressed Captain Zhang. "Captain, may I ask why my lead role was changed?" Captain Zhang looked at me and Jet Gu in surprise. "Xiao Chen didn't Captain Zhu tell you?" "After comprehensive consideration, Comrade Lily Lin is more suitable for the lead role than you. So, Captain Zhu has already assigned the lead role to her. You've been replaced." Replaced? It felt like someone had punched me hard in the heart. I looked at Jet Gubel as if I had never known him before. How dare he give the lead role I worked so hard for to his ex-girlfriend? "I don't agree," I heard myself say. Jet Garance, his brows and eyes filled with reproach for my lack of understanding. The regimental commander sighed. "Xiao Chun, I know you're upset, but Commander Zhang, let me explain it to her." Jet interrupted the commander, then added, "Comrade Lily Lin, I'll trouble you to take good care of her." With that, he grabbed my arm and tried to pull me out of the room. As we left, I accidentally caught a glimpse of Lily Lin's face. Our eyes met and she gave me a faint smile. Her eyes were filled with unmistakable malice and mockery. A pang of bitterness struck my heart, and I abruptly shook off Jet Gu's hand. "Let go. Why did you drag me away? Can't we talk here?" Jet Gu looked at me coldly. "Can you stop acting crazy here? I'm not saying it out loud to save you some face." I stared at Jet Guzhen. "Save me face? What face do I need you to save? I earned this role with my own abilities. But do you even know how capable you really are? You're just a middle school dropout from the countryside. How can you compare to Comrade Lily Lin, who graduated from art school? This lead role should have been hers all along. Whether you admit it or not, she's more suited for it than you. Myra, you're simply not worthy of this leading role." It felt like a gaping hole had been torn in my chest, letting in an endless cold wind. After all these years in the cultural troupe, I've attracted no shortage of jealous glares and resentment. They all say I'm just a country girl who barely finished middle school. That landing on stage was pure dumb luck. One day, sooner or later, they'll fall. Those words I've heard, but never paid them any mind because I know my own strength, getting to where I am. Today was never about luck. All for the chance to stand on that stage, to stay. In the cultural troupe I practiced dancing day and night until my feet were covered in blisters and my waist was full of injuries. But I never expected that one day such harsh words would come from my own husband's mouth. So he never respected me at all. A tear suddenly rolled down from the corner of my eye and I heard myself say, "Jae-gu, let's get a divorce." The lead role was ultimately snatched away by Lily Lin. Somehow the matter in the team leader's office got leaked. Especially the words Jae-gu said about looking down on me were vividly spread by everyone. No matter where I go now, I can always hear people gossiping about me. Do you think Myra got into the cultural troupe back then by sleeping her way in? Otherwise, why would Director Ju look down on her so much? Honestly, that's probably the reason. Otherwise, why would Director Gu dislike her so much? They've been married for a year now, and her belly is still flat. Maybe Director Gu finds her dirty and just doesn't want to touch her at all. That's right. That must be it. Ooh, how disgusting. Clenching my fist, nails digging into my palm. Yet I didn't feel any pain at all. Disgusting. No, it was never me who was dirty. It was Jae-gu. It was Lai Lin. It's those who chew over these rumors. As Lily Lin officially joined the troupe and began rehearsals, the gossip about me grew even more. I used to love my profession dearly, enjoyed working in the cultural troupe and loved dancing. But now every day I step into the cultural troupe, I need immense courage. The relentless gossip, the inexplicable thumbtacks in my dance shoes, the vanishing practice clothes, all of it constantly frays my already sensitive nerves. Everyone is waiting to see me humiliated, wondering when Jae-gu will dump this clueless country girl who doesn't know her place. After who knows how many times the sole of my foot was punctured by a thumbtack. Again, I stared blankly at the blood beating on my foot, feeling in that moment that I truly couldn't go on any longer. Myra, Regimental Commander Jong is looking for you. Someone called out to me from outside. Regiment Commander Jong looking for her now, definitely means no good. Right. Maybe has found out about her improper conduct and is about to teach her a lesson. Exactly. That must be it. I lowered my head too, put on my socks and walked out under the watchful eyes of Lily Lin and the others who were clearly anticipating some drama. Pushing open the door to the regimental commander's office, I saw Commander Jong sitting behind his desk, frowning deeply as he smoked. Commander, you wanted to see me. When Commander Jong saw me, his frown deepened. Xiao Chen, how have you gotten so thin? I forced an awkward smile. No, I've always been like this. Regiment Commander Jong sighed. Xiao Chen, I know you're feeling wronged about this matter, and I feel sorry for you too. To be honest, that Lily Lin is no match for you. What kind of performance was that? And she graduated from an art school, utterly unprofessional. I don't dare hope for any awards for this new play now. I just hope it doesn't embarrass me. I really don't know what your regiment commander Gu is thinking, siding with an outsider instead of his own wife. Could he really not know that you're far more outstanding than that, Lily Lin? I lowered my head, hiding the mist in my eyes. Don't you know? Perhaps you do. He just doesn't care. Whether in the past life or now, between Lion and me, I was never the one he chose. Regiment Commander Jong took a deep drag of his cigarette. Xiao Chun, you missed out on the lead role in the new play. But now there's an opportunity for a 2-year exchange and study program at the military region headquarters.
If you
Perform well there, you might even get
to stay,
Xiao Chun, would you like to?
go,
Might even get to stay. Hearing this, my eyes suddenly lit up. Even the thick fog that had been hanging over my head these days has cleared up a lot. Captain, I want to go. Thank you.
I
Sincerely expressed my gratitude. This opportunity is truly invaluable to me. I'm so eager to leave this foul and polluted place. And I'm also desperate to completely break away from both Jet Gu and Lai Lin. The team leader said, there's only one exchange study opportunity, and before the official document is issued, I shouldn't tell anyone about it, but the announcement should be coming any day now. With this hope in mind, the following days didn't feel as unbearable. Even though the gossip and bullying from everyone continued, I felt I could endure it for the time being. Yet, Jet Gu still hadn't shown up. It wasn't until Tuesday after work when I went to the market to buy some groceries. On my way back, I noticed a military jeep parked at the hospital entrance. It looked familiar, so I couldn't help but take a few more glances. Then I saw Jet Gu, whom I hadn't seen in days, walking out of the hospital carrying a little girl in his arms, accompanied by Lily Lin. The little girl said something and both Lai Lin and Jet Gu'd. It looked extremely harmonious, just like a real family. Seeing me standing in front of the car, the previously harmonious atmosphere between Jet Gu and the others froze.
in
The quiet Lily Lin was the first to
speak.
Myra, my dear, it's because my Xiaoa suddenly had a fever. And Jet was worried, so he brought us to the hospital. You know how much Xiaoa adores her daddy Jet, so don't take it to heart. Lily Lin's words carried an undisguised hint of boasting. I shook my head. No worries, whatever.
With that, I
Picked up my groceries and prepared to walk past them to head home.
but the
Next second, the bag of groceries in my hand was taken by Jet Gu. Let me walk you home. I glanced at Lily Lin and the child in her arms, replying irritably, no need. Jet Gu held onto the bag, firmly insisting, you have a lot to
carry.
let me walk you. Lily Lin stared fixedly at Jet Gu's hand, forcing a smile as she said, that's right, Myra. Let's all go back together. I grabbed the bag and said, I told you I don't need it. Then I walked away without looking back.
On the
Road, there were scattered pedestrians, and coincidentally, everyone seemed to be out in pairs. It made my eyes burn uncontrollably. I fiercely wiped my slightly re-ened eyes and told myself, this is the last time. Once the documents come through, I'll officially divorce Jet Gu. Whatever happens between him and Lily Lin is none of my business.
returning.
Home, I had a simple meal.
Then I
Started packing my things. Regiment Commander Chen said the document would be issued in a day or two and we'd have to leave as soon as it arrives. Barring any surprises, this departure means we won't be coming back. I need to pack everything up. The door was pushed open from outside. Jet Gu had returned at some point without me noticing.
he saw
The luggage in my hand and his brows suddenly furrowed. Myra, what are you doing? Lily and I are really just friends. Can you stop being so jealous? For no reason? I replied calmly. You too
don't need to tell me about your
affairs. I don't care.
hearing this. Jet
Goose's expression relaxed. Myra, I'm glad you see it that way. Lily just lost her husband and is raising a child alone. She needs all the help she can get right now. We should really be more caring and supportive of her. I nodded. You're right. We should take better care of her. Hearing this, Jet Goose's heart, completely relaxed, and a faint smile appeared on his stern face. But before the smile could reach his eyes, he heard me say, "So to make it easier for you to take care of her, I've decided to divorce you, Jet Goo. Let's get a divorce. That way, you can openly take care of both her and their child." Jet Goo's face darkened completely. "Myra, you're utterly unreasonable. How many times do I have to tell you that Lily and I are just purely friends? You're not allowed to mention divorce again. I don't agree with it." With that, Jet Goo stormed off angrily. I watched Jet Goo's retreating figure, but my heart remained unshaken. "Jet Goo, you say you're just friends, but do you really believe that yourself? Or have you told the lie so many times that you've started to believe it? In your past life, you called out her name even as you were dying in front of so many leaders and comrades. You kept shouting Lily Lin, crushing my dignity as the original spouse underfoot. The one who made me wish for death was myself. Jet Goo, I don't want to be entangled with you in this lifetime anymore, nor will I endure such humiliation ever again." After that day, Jet Goo disappeared again. However, Lily Lin began to appear frequently in front of me, taking advantage of her current popularity in the group. She constantly ordered me around to fetch tea and water, but that wasn't enough for her. She even wanted me to play a supporting role in her new drama, Comrade Myra. I didn't want to trouble you, but now I can't find anyone to play this minor role. I have no choice but to bother you, Lily Lin said arrogantly. Jianggu clenched my hand, trembling with anger all over. "She's really too much of a bully, Myra. Don't go." Looking at the Hoylin, I also felt indignant. But thinking about leaving this place for good soon, I decided it was better to avoid trouble. "It's just playing a supporting role. I'll go then." I patted Jianga's hand and reassured her. "It's okay. There's nothing wrong with a supporting role." "Yes, what's wrong with being a supporting role? Supporting roles can also shine brilliantly." Lily Lin was wrong. She wanted to humiliate me this way, but she didn't know the stage has always been my domain. Even as a supporting role, I can perform it exceptionally well. After the rehearsal, the number of people who used to speak ill of me decreased significantly. On the contrary, rumors about Lily Lin began to spread. Say what you will about Myra Chen's style, but her professional skills are undeniable. Even in minor supporting roles with just a few moves, she performs exceptionally well. Exactly. Last time I lost to her in the competition, I was genuinely convinced. I really don't know how Lily Lin managed to get this role over her. When Lily Lin dances, she can't even do a proper split. Absolutely. It's so stiff. I can hardly watch. I'd much rather have Myra Chen as the lead this time. Lily Lin isn't even fit to lick Myra Chen's boots. Jianggu, listening to the group's discussion, held on to my arm and grinned like a cat that got the cream. "Myra, you really have your ways. Using your genuine skills to prove everyone wrong that Lily Lin wanted to humiliate you, but now she's just ended up shooting herself in the foot. Do you think your Captain Gu would regret replacing you back then if he knew about this? Would Jet Gu?" I replied calmly. "It doesn't matter anymore. You go ahead inside. I need to find the captain. He said he had something to tell me earlier." After parting ways with Jianggu, I headed straight for the regimental commander's office. He had just sent someone to fetch me, likely because the official documents had come through. Finally, I could leave this place filled with foul air. I rushed excitedly to the second floor, only to unexpectedly run into Lily Lin at the stairwell. She glared at me with venom in her eyes. Myra Chen, you must be feeling pretty smug, aren't you? I asked in confusion. Smug about what? Lily Lin leaned closer to me and said, smug that everyone is now praising your professional skills as superior to mine, saying you should have been the lead actress instead. Even Jet Gu said he owes you an apology and now refuses to spend time with me in Shao. Tell me, aren't you feeling smug?
I
Looked at Lai Lin's contorted face. Didn't you ask for all this yourself, Lai Lin, forcing things that don't belong to you? This is the outcome. Like Lily Lin with this leading role. Like Jet Gu with me. Nothing gained by force ends well.
But
Lily Lin didn't understand what I said. She forced a strange smile. Myra Chen, but you can't win against me since you won't let me have peace. I won't let you off either. I'll send you to hell. After saying that, she leaned her whole body backward and then fell straight down the
stairs. Thud.
Blood blossomed like flowers beneath Lily Lin. Lily Lin let out a piercing scream. Help! Myra Chen is trying to kill me. Amid the chaos, I heard the screech of a military jeep braking outside. Then Jet Gu, who had been absent for days, rushed in like a gust of wind and carefully picked up Lily Lin, who was lying on the ground, screaming incessantly. Jet Myra Chen tried to kill me. She was the one who
pushed me. I'm so scared.
If I die, what will happen to Shao? Jet Gu lifted his dark somber eyes and looked at me as if I were already dead. I was pierced by his look of utter loathing, feeling as if all the blood in my body had frozen, and even breathing became difficult.
I
instinctively defended myself.
No, Jet.
She fell on her own. It's not my fault. Shut up. You're still making excuses. Jet Gu looked at me with extreme disappointment. You're utterly despicable. Someone call the police. Let them lock up this murderer who committed intentional homicide. I was taken away by the police in full view of everyone. The sky gradually darkened and rain began to fall in the night. The detention center was terrifyingly cold and frighteningly dark. I don't know how things could have turned out like this. I was so close to getting the documents, so close to leaving this place too. Leaving Jet Gu and Lai Lin behind.
How
did I still end up in such a situation? Jet Gu, Lin, you two really outdid yourselves. I don't know how many days I spent inside, but after yet another sunrise, the detention center door finally opened. Then Jet Gual. The moment I looked at Jet Gu, a faint hope arose in my heart. Jet, are you here to take me away? Jet Gu snorted coldly. After doing such a heartless and cruel
thing,
do you still think you can leave this place and escape punishment like it's some kind of good fortune? Do you even know that, because of you, Lily suffered a comminuted fracture in her right leg? She'll never be able to dance again, Myra Chen. How could you be so vicious? My chest feels unbearably tight, and I can't help but step forward to grab Jet Gu's hand. But I really didn't do anything. Lily Lin deliberately fell on her own. Do you even know she can't dance at all?
Jet
Gu's expression darkens further.
My
hand is flung away, hitting the iron railing beside us with a sharp pain.
But
what hurts even more is my heart. You really never change. You just wait here and take your punishment to atone for your sins. With that, Jet Gu opened the door and left again. I watched his retreating figure, feeling nothing but bitterness in my heart. Atonement.
But
what sin have I committed? I thought Jet Gu would never return. Unexpectedly, he came back 2 days later. The look in his eyes as he gazed at me was still filled with the same old disgust. Myra Chun, what you did this time was truly excessive. Originally, you were to be stripped of your military status and even sent to prison, but Lily is kind-hearted. She said that as long as you apologized to her in person and publicly read an apology letter to her at the military district broadcast station, she would issue a letter of understanding, allowing you to avoid prison. But from now on, you'll have to take off that military uniform.
She
doesn't want to see you in the cultural troop anymore. I clenched my fists tightly. How truly kind Lily Lin is.
I
lowered my head and smiled weakly.
All right then.
I really should thank her for her magnanimity. After half a month, I finally saw sunlight again. Once in the Jeep, Jet Gu wanted to take me straight to the hospital to apologize to Lai Lin. I pleaded, "Can we go home first?" Jet Gu said impatiently.
What's
the point of going home? Lily is finally willing to forgive you. You should go to her right now and apologize sincerely. Even kneeling wouldn't be too much. Kneel before Lily Lin. This man really dares to think big. What right does Lily Lin have? I clutched the hem of my clothes and mumbled, but I've been in detention for half a month without changing clothes or taking a shower.
I
don't mind being dirty myself, but I'm afraid of passing any bacteria to Lily
Lin.
After all, she's still a patient and shouldn't be exposed to anything unclean. Hearing this, though, Jet Gu's face remained dark. He turned the steering wheel and drove toward the residential compound. Jet Gu didn't want to stay with me, waiting in the car while I go upstairs to pack. I'm glad he's not following me. After returning, I went straight to Jet Gu's study and found his small recording radio. Then I quickly packed and freshened up before heading downstairs with my bag in the hospital. I met Lily Lin, who in Jet Gu's description was on the verge of
death.
Though she lay in the hospital bed, her face was radiant, looking far better than my own ghostly pale appearance. In front of Jet Gu, I bowed deeply to Lilin. Comrade Lily Lin, I'm
sorry.
I was blinded by greed and did something wrong. Please be magnanimous and forgive me. Lily Lin looked at me, remaining silent for a long while.
She
let me keep my head bowed like this, maintaining my posture of apology.
Jet
Gu also didn't say a word, as if he believed I deserved this suffering. After what felt like an eternity, Lily Lin finally spoke softly. Sister Myra, truthfully, I don't blame you. I know you misunderstood my relationship with Jet, which led you to do such an irrational thing. She turned her head and said to Jet Gu, Jet, could you step out for a moment? There are some things I'd like to discuss privately with Myra. Jet Gu glanced, then nodded and left. As soon as Jet Gu was gone, I straightened up, seeing the humiliated expression on my face. Lily Lin smiled triumphantly. Myra Chun, you must be really indignant, right? You clearly didn't do anything wrong. Yet now you have to lower your head and apologize to me like this. Who would have thought it was actually me who fell down? And it's just your own failure as a person, even your own husband, Jet Gu, doesn't trust you. Do you know how good he's been to me and my child during this time? I asked him what if I really became disabled. Do you know how he responded? I shook my head. No, I don't. He said he would take care of me for the rest of my life. Myra Chun, your husband's heart is now with me.
I
said coldly. In that case, congratulations. At least your leg wasn't broken for nothing. Lily Lin wore a crazed smile. So what if it's broken? I was never good at dancing. Anyway, I would have embarrassed myself during the official performance.
Now.
That my leg is broken, it's perfect.
At
Least Jet won't blame me for lying to him. But Myra-chan, there's one more thing you have to do now. I looked at Lily Lin in confusion. Lily Lin said, I want you to divorce Jet Gu. Jet is too responsible.
even though you're now
Infamous, he still refuses to initiate the divorce. So I'll give him a little push as long as you divorce him.
I'll
Immediately issue a letter of understanding. I hesitated and said, I can divorce him, but could you let me
stay in the military?
Don't let Jet Gu discharge me. No, Lily Lin said coldly. I don't want to see you. You must leave. Who told you to take my jet for so long? This is all your retribution.
Hearing
This, I asked the question that had puzzled me for 2 lifetimes. Lily Lin, if you loved Jet Gu, why did you marry someone else? Lily Lin burst into laughter. Love him?
I
Don't love him at all. Back then he was just a lowly soldier. What was there to love about him? It's just my bad luck. The man I married died young, and he happened to strike it lucky and become a regiment commander. I couldn't care less about him. Myra-chan, you can only blame your own bad luck since you're standing in my way.
don't blame me for taking
Action against you. Framing you as just my first move if you don't behave.
I
Have plenty of ways to deal with you.
so
That's how it is, Jet Gu. So this is what your so-called white moonlight is like. I touched the radio in my bag and nodded. Agreed to all of Myra-chan's demands. As I was leaving, I stood at the door waiting for Jet Gu when I heard Lily Lin pull him aside and say, Jet, do you remember? You once promised to marry me when we grew up, but now I'm a widow and you're married. What a twist of fate if we were both single now. Would the words you said back then still hold true? I couldn't help but turn my head only to see Jet Guy with patience and tenderness. I would. The corners of my lips curled slightly, and the faint trace of unwillingness in my heart vanished without a trace. Jet Gu, I hope you'll still be able to say such words tomorrow. On the way back, I brought up divorce with Jet Gu.
Jet Gu didn't say
Much, just sighed. After a long silence, he finally said, Myra-chan, I hope you can walk the right path in the future. We've come to this point because of your own actions. I didn't respond, only offering a faint mocking smile. Early the next morning, we went together to submit the divorce papers. Then, under the regretful gaze of our regimental commander, I took my military discharge papers and letter of apology and went alone to the broadcasting station.
upon
Arriving at the station after figuring out how to use the equipment, I found an excuse to send the staff away. Then I locked the door of the broadcasting station from the inside. Next, I moved the heavy cabinets and tables nearby to block the entrance. After completing everything, I turned on the broadcast switch and began reading the apology letter. Hello everyone, I am Myra-chan, the ex-wife of team leader Jet Gu.
I
Came here today to say something.
I
Believe everyone is aware of what happened to me recently.
people have
Been calling me a vicious bad woman who pushed comrade Lily Lin down the stairs out of jealousy, but is that really the truth? Please listen to this recording. Then I played the entire conversation I had with Lily Lin at the hospital yesterday. Next, Lily Lin's smug voice came through the broadcast loud and clear. It reached the ears of everyone in the military district. The door of the broadcasting station was banged on. Comrade Myra-chan opened the door quickly. I turned a deaf ear.
they
Tried to push it open, but the door I had firmly blocked wasn't so easy to budge. Time passed minute by minute, and everyone came to know the truth of the matter.
They also learned about the
affair between Lily Lin and Jetju.
and
Of course, they discovered Jetga's foolishness. As the recording finished playing, the door finally opened.
what?
Greeted me wasn't blame, but Zhang rushing over with a hug and the pained gaze of our team leader, Xiao Chen. You've been wronged. We'll seek justice. For you. That's right. We'll help. You appeal together. We will never let you suffer injustice in vain. Lily Lin is finished. So is Jetgu. The repercussions of this incident are extremely severe. Abusing power for personal gain, underhanded dealings, framing a comrade, and marital infidelity. Each of these charges is enough to condemn Jetgu and Lily Lin to eternal disgrace. With no chance of redemption, Lily Lin's reputation was completely ruined.
Not only was she
Expelled from the cultural troupe, but she was also investigated by the relevant authorities for framing others. Captain Zhang stated that her actions were extremely malicious and the punishment would only be severe, not lenient. Jetju was also removed from his position as troop leader and demoted by 3 military ranks. He could no longer stay here. I heard I was going to be sent to the border to guard the frontier. The harsh environment there is indeed a good place to reform people. Yet not only was my military status restored, but Regimental Commander Zhang also offered me the lead role in the new play, but I still refused, having lived a second life. I truly wanted to change my way of living. I chose to leave the
military.
Captain Zhang was reluctant to let me go, but seeing my firm decision, he respected my choice. He recommended me for a supporting female role in a drama at a television station in the
South.
I immediately agreed when I saw the name of this department. This was a drama that became wildly popular across the country in my past life, especially the role of the female second lead, which even outshone the female lead.
In
the days to come, she leveraged the benefits of this role to establish her own company. She built her own business empire. I used to envy this person's fortune a lot in my past life. Never thought I'd have this opportunity myself. Now I thanked Captain Zhang and accepted his kindness. Then, carrying my luggage, I boarded the train heading
south.
On the day of departure, Jiangu came to the station to see me off. Myra, Lily Lin has been sentenced to prison. I heard she got 3 years. Serves her.
Right.
Let's see if she dares to scheme and harm people again. And your ex-husband is ridiculous, too. He never appreciated you before, but now he's running around everywhere trying to find out where you are. He's even asked me about you 7 or 8 times. But who would tell him where you are, that scumbag? His belated affection is cheaper than weeds. You must never forgive him. I gratefully held Zhang's hand. Yes, I won't forgive. Myra. A cautious voice came from behind
me.
I turned around and saw Jetju in casual clothes. He looked at me with burning eyes, filled with remorse and something I couldn't understand.
What
are you doing here? Jianga stood in front of me like a little leopard.
I'm
warning you. Myra has nothing to do with
you now.
You can't bully her anymore. Jetju let out a bitter laugh. How could I bully her? I just have something to say to her. Myra, can I talk to you for a moment? I had never seen Jetgu look so humble before. I glanced at the time on my wrist. Just a few minutes left.
I
turned to Jetgu and said, "You've got 5 minutes. Say what you need to say." Jetgu's eyes darkened at my words. Myra, do we really have to be so distant?
I
replied, puzzled. Isn't this what you wanted? After all, a woman as vicious as me, A small-town girl with no skills or education. How could I ever be worthy of you? Hearing my words, Jet gwaggered, as if struck, swaying unsteadily.
It's
Not like that. Myra, I don't know. What's wrong with me? I genuinely didn't mean to act this way, nor do I look down on you. But whenever I'm around Lynn, I always feel compelled to take extra care of her. We grew up together. She was the one I loved in my youth. It's the filter of my past affection for her that made me blind. In truth, she can't compare to you at all. She has been deceiving me from the very beginning. She's the truly immoral and malicious one.
I'm sorry, Myra. I was wrong.
Terribly wrong. I mistook fish, eyes for pearls, and for a woman like Lynn, I actually missed out on someone as wonderful as you. It wasn't until we really got divorced that I realized I had already fallen in love with you long ago. At this point, Jet-Gu looked up at me with hope in his eyes. Myra, you see, I've been punished too. Can you forgive me just once and give us another chance? Can we remarry?
Jet-Gu's
words struck a deep chord in my heart. Then came the absurdity. Jet-Gu, there's no such thing as a pill for regret in this world. What's more, I don't want you anymore. I shook my head. Jet-Gu, I won't remarry you. The moment you refused to give me even an ounce of trust and stood by Lynn's side, we were completely over. I knew I was terribly wrong. Jet-Gu tugged at his hair in frustration, tears streaming from his eyes. But Myra, I really can't bear to let you go. Please don't leave
me.
Okay. I glanced at my watch once
more.
Time's up. Goodbye, Jet-Gu. With that, I grabbed my luggage and prepared to leave. But after only a few steps, I heard a scream behind me. I turned around and saw Jet-Gu kneeling on the
ground.
Myra, I'm truly sorry. I was really wrong. Please don't go. Jet-Gu worriedly squeezed my hand. Myra, you're not going to soften your heart, are you? I won't let you down. Yes, never again. I averted my gaze, grabbed my luggage, and strode onto the train. Behind me, Jet-Gu was still shouting my name, loudly saying, sorry, but none of this has anything to do with me anymore, Jet-Gu. A belated apology is worthless. I truly don't want you anymore. Amidst the sound of train whistles, I waved goodbye to Jet-Gu. Then the train started moving, leaving both Jet-Gu and Jet-Gu behind me. I successfully starred in that hit drama and, as expected, became widely famous. Then, relying on my memories from my past life, I started my own company. Later, I built my own entertainment empire. Many years passed, and I saw Jet-Gu again. Now she has a happy marriage, and because she followed my investments a few times, her family's life has improved because everything has been smooth sailing. Even in her 40s, she still retains the same girlish charm as before. As soon as they saw me, they started gossiping. Did you know Lynn is living a miserable life now? With her ruined reputation, she couldn't find any job after being released from prison. The last time I saw her, she was cleaning toilets in a shopping mall. She looked so old. I almost didn't recognize her. And Jet-Gu isn't doing well either. With that major mistake in his record, he can forget about any career advancement for the rest of his life. I heard he never remarried, living alone every day. They say his lungs aren't doing well now, relying on medication daily. The last time I saw him, a man in his 40s looked like a little old man. What do you think he was after back then? I shook my head. Maybe just for the thrill of it. Men are trash. I think so too. Jet-Gu sighed. That thrill worked out great for him. Now he's turned into that wretched state. Do you think he regrets it? I neither agreed nor disagreed, offering only a faint
smile.
I don't know if he regrets it or
not.
In any case, I have no regrets. After the divorce, my life has been incredibly wonderful, and it will continue to be so in the future.
Free
from dull romance, every day is filled with immense contentment